My guest this time is Richard Aviles, otherwise known as Rico from Rico's podcast. Rico is an ex-military vet. He's a translator that's helped with human trafficking cases. He's also a comedian, a businessman, a family man, a renaissance man of the new age. So I hope you enjoy.
Oh fuck.
All right, you ready to play interview roulette with me?
God no, but go ahead.
Come on, these are more fun. Even though this whole interview has been a real joy. All right, so you picked 5 numbers before we got started.
Yeah.
I got the questions that correspond with them.
Yeah.
The first one is: the world is flooding, and you must build a small ark. Which 7 animals do you save? And why?
Chickens, dogs, a pair of dogs, probably like wolf dogs, chickens, dogs, what's the other thing? Oh god, I'm trying to figure out the name. What's it called? Possums, fish, like some sort of fish that's edible, like bass fish or something. I'd also try to save a few birds, not carpenter birds. Fuck those birds. Is that 5?
7 is what you need.
7. I got 2 left. I would also try to take some sort of reptile, probably small salamanders, and then cows. The cow and the chicken would be for food and for eggs, because in a survival situation you burn more calories, so you need to have a higher fat content. The cow for obvious reasons, meat and resources, milk, so I can stay hydrated. The possum would be to eat any lizards. I'm sorry, any.
I was gonna say you're bringing salamanders.
My bad. To eat like any little bugs that get on board, or any sort of like decomposers that might happen,
pests.
Right? Some pests, right? Like dogs, they can attract fleas and stuff, and possums, like, they eat. That's why you see possums in people's backyards around here. They're eating like ticks is what they're doing, and then they move on. So that's pretty good. The dog wolves to procreate, and that way I have a companion, and I also have something to entertain myself with, because if you don't, you'd get fucking bored. The reptiles, just because reptiles are needed. They can be used as food for like different animals such as the possum, and on top of that they also help contain like bad bacteria and stuff like that.
Well, they reproduce fairly quickly too, so
they do fairly quickly, so it's great food for like animals and stuff.
The fish is an interesting one. A dude running around with an aquarium and a boat on the water.
Because I don't know if fish would be extinct at that point, would be the thing. I don't know what would happen. So I just would bring some sort of fish that I can eat, just in case, so I can get a higher fat content. And then what was the other one? Birds. Oh, birds to send messages, just in case I can start reproducing and send messages. And they sing beautifully too. I like the sound of birds. It helps me relax. And birds can be used as a food too.
Yeah, well, eggs, and you can eat.
You can give it to your dogs.
Yeah.
So it's got a whole little ecosystem.
I like those answers. If you had to design a playground for adults, what's one thing you'd put on it?
A strip club. Next question.
Fair enough. What would be your dream car?
I don't really have a dream car. I'm gonna be honest. I have a car that I like to own. It's a Tesla Model S.
Okay, well, that would technically be your dream car then.
Yeah, it's not like I gotta have. It's just that'd be cool to have.
Yeah.
I'm not big
into cars. The self-driving feature?
No. I'd like to have it just in case, but it's not something I would trust for right now.
Yeah, I agree. I think we're about 10, 15 years away from the technology being semi-trustworthy. and then probably 20, 25 years away from actually being safe with it.
I don't think it's a matter of that. To me, it's more a matter of how long am I personally gonna give it to trust it, because I've seen some videos that scare me. Because that's the biggest thing. You can have all the evidence in the world, but convincing people, bro, that like it's scary.
Realistically, for self-driving cars to even be remotely thought of as working, you'd have to rip up the entire infrastructure of roads. You'd have to redesign them. You'd have to put markers and GPS stuff in them. A whole ton of electronics would have to go into the roads. And then the car would have to be on Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, constantly talking to the road back and forth in order for it to be remotely considered. Because otherwise there's too many factors. And at that point, it's slot car racing.
Yeah. It's one of those things that like, yeah.
There's only really one way to go about it, and that makes sense to me. And it's slot car racing. Back in high school, what was the strangest thing someone could find in your locker?
We don't have lockers in Puerto Rico.
No?
No, we didn't have lockers.
Okay, backpack.
We don't use that. Okay, my backpack. What was the question again?
I'm sorry, man. I don't know.
No, you're fine, brother.
I'm as Caucasian as they come.
What was it again? What was it that someone...
The question is, back in high school, what was the strangest thing someone would find in your backpack?
My Yu-Gi-Oh deck.
Yeah?
Yeah. My Yu-Gi-Oh deck. 100%. It's probably the weirdest thing.
Did you guard it with your life, though?
Oh, fuck yeah, I did. The deck was worth $300, bro.
Were you good at it, though?
Yeah.
Well, hey, man, there's people that... I know people that play Magic the Gathering and suck at it.
I do okay.
Yeah.
I do okay.
Did you ever do tournaments or anything like that?
Not for Magic. For Yu-Gi-Oh, I did.
I meant for Yu-Gi-Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, all the time. All the time. I played a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh. Put a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh. Back in the day. Oh, back in the day. But back in the day, that's what I played a lot was Yu-Gi-Oh, man. Like I loved playing Yu-Gi-Oh. I actually stopped, man. It's very addictive.
Well, I've seen how Magic the Gathering has taken hold of the people that live here, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm good.
That's why I don't do it. That's why I don't fuck with it. Because it's like, I'll take it personal. Like, oh, you think you can beat my deck? All right, motherfucker.
You know what it is for me? I have trouble because I've seen what some of the cards cost and whatnot. I have trouble rationalizing paying that much for ink on paper or ink on cardboard. I get it. You know, I see that because like baseball cards and stuff like that, those have value, but they only have as much value as someone's willing to pay for them.
Correct.
And in my head, and this is why I don't live a fancy life or have any fancy tastes or anything like that, because to me, it just seems silly to pay that much for a piece of cardboard with ink on it. That's all. But again, I don't knock it because I know there's tons of people that love it, and you know, the artwork. Yeah,
and that's just like it's what it is. It's like you said, I love what shit is like. It's not for me.
Yeah.
Like that's the key word right there. I tell people like every time somebody starts talking shit, I'm like, hey man, like people made it clear like they're not. And that's the biggest thing I've learned. Like when I started podcasting was that a lot of people are like, I love how you don't like, oh, this is what it is. Like you're like, no, this is how it is for me. And I was like, yeah, that's how it should be. And a lot of people like told me like, no, not a lot of people are like that. It's like, it's the beauty because it's like, yeah, that's what works in my world. You know, you know what I'm saying?
All right. Last question for interview roulette.
Yeah.
What 3 things would you leave in a time capsule for people to find 50 years from now?
I'd leave a flip phone. I leave a fake death note, like a fake death note from the anime death note, right? And then I would leave like a will with a fake check on it.
So you're just fucking trolling people. I see. I like it.
100%. I don't think time capsules like I know recently we found one.
Yeah.
In Virginia, was it? Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I want to know how much that's gonna be because that's probably gonna cost a lot of money. Imagine if they would have found. Imagine if they would have found a death note with a flip phone and a blank check that said, "Put whatever money you want, but kill everybody in the world." Like, yeah, there you go, bro. That's a you want to talk about Russian roulette right there. Like, you can't have all the money you want, but you got to kill everybody in the world. Like,
everybody.
Everybody.
You know what? I got all the money in the world.
You know, who are you gonna share it with?
Yeah, but I'm not gonna be able to kill everybody. Theoretically, it would have to be you give me the money so I can try to attempt to kill everybody.
You got a death note though.
Yeah, well, that's true.
See, this is the conundrum.
That's like
I have made it. You know why I love saying that? And that's actually something I tell people. It's because it's the conundrum of would you kill? Like, would you kill for all the money in the world? But if you kill once, you have to kill everybody. That's why I say you have to kill everybody. That's the conundrum.
No, I like my wife and I like my friends. So no.
More than money. And that's the conundrum right there is like, how much do you like, how much value do you put on money? I tell this to my interns when they first come to intern for me for Language Ninja. I present that to them. I go, you open a time capsule and it has a death note. And like 99% of my interns know what death note is because almost all interpreters are nerds.
Well, you have to be.
It's just, yeah, you kind of have to be in this line of work. You have to love languages and reading. And I present that to them and they're like, oh shit, I don't know what I would do. I was like, all right, you better figure it out. Figure it out.
No, I wouldn't do it because they're as long as there's at least one person that I actually care about and I like, I wouldn't do it.
It gives hope.
Yeah. Otherwise, you strip everything away from me. I say this with no bones about it. I fully believe what was said. I believe it was the Killing Joke of Batman, where Joker and Batman were talking, and Joker said, "Everyone is one bad day away from being me."
100% And that's why I tell people, that's why I treat people kindly, because I don't ever want to be the name on someone's list, and I don't ever want to be the reason a motherfucker loses it. Hell no.
I've told all of my friends that truly care about me that you should help me protect my wife, because if anything happens to her, we don't have kids. Most of my family is either estranged or gone. I will burn the world down.
See, and that's the thing that I tell people is like, once you figure out like what because it's like you said, and that's why I said in the beginning, that's why I'm kind to everybody, because it's like, dude, you don't know, you have no clue like how many steps is this person from just burning everything the fuck down. Like, you have no clue. And I've seen it, dude. I've seen it a lot of times. And it like, and there's always the people who, like, I always say this, there's always the people that make comments like, oh, you know, whatever. And I'm like, well, you know, that's cool. Like, if that works for you, like, good for you, man. But not in my world.
Yeah. I was raised on this from the school of fuck around and find out. And trust me, if it goes to court, I will constantly cite fuck around v find out. Well, it's funny because like I'm from here in you know, in and around the Detroit area of Michigan. Now, when I moved out of state and people asked me where I was from, it's easier to say Detroit. I'm about 30 minutes outside of it. But I mean, way I drive, I can be there in 15. So I'm not really that far. But the minute you're like, no, I'm from Detroit, they're like, oh my God, how did you survive? Like,
that's funny.
What are you talking about? And they're like, isn't it just so dangerous there? And I was like, it's no more dangerous than, and I looked around because I was in small towns south at that point.
Yeah.
I was going to say it's no more dangerous than being around here. And I was like, yeah, you're right. But yeah, people treated me nicely because they weren't sure what someone from Detroit was willing to do.
That's funny.
So
I think you should always treat people like kindly, be polite. I'm not
well,
saying you got to be a piece of shit, but just, I don't know. Manners to me are huge.
do unto others.
Yeah. Like that's one thing I instill in my kid is like manners. It's like the one thing that I will like argue, like, no, you say please and thank you. You say, excuse me, like it doesn't, it's one of those things. Someone asked me like why, and I said, because it doesn't take anything. And it makes you like, I don't know, there's something about being nice to people that feels nice. Can't explain it. That's just the way I feel about it.
Okay, man, that's the end of our time. Tell them where they can find you.
You can find me on the Rico podcast on iHeartRadio and on our Facebook page. You want to find me directly, you can find me on Richard Aviles. That's on Facebook, and you'll see like my logo. And if you want to talk to me, it's RA as in alpha, B as in boy, D as in delta, EL440 @gmail.com. I answer emails faster than I answer phone calls. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. It's been fun.